Do, 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 do. Da, da, da. Well, folks, I figure good enough for the oven, good enough for my car. So let's just see what this stuff does to my car. Yeah, now we'll let her bake for 5 hours at 360 degrees. Thanks for tuning in. This is Danny with Rusted Out Revival Garage. You can see in the intro there, yep, we're dealing with strippers today. Not that kind of strippers, dirty-minded people. Talking about getting spray paint off of your project, whether it's a car, truck, airplane, refrigerator, whatever. We've all ran into issues where we've had spray paint that we need to remove. So you just saw on my my 85 Mustang that I sprayed the door down with Easy Off Oven Cleaner. Easy Off Oven Cleaner, I'm gonna tell you, it does wonders for removing spray paint, but you gotta get the Easy Off brand. Store brands does not work. You've got to get this stuff right here in the yellow can. The yellow can is what does it. If you get the blue can, I don't know, there's a different formula. The blue can doesn't work, and the store brands of this stuff doesn't seem to work. So we're going to do this, shoot it on the Mustang, which you've already seen. We're actually going to spray some on the old F100 right here. We do have some black spray paint on the back here. See if we can get some of that removed. This fender is going to be tough because I think there's yellow paint under it, and I'm not sure if I want to expose more yellow paint. But this fender over here, we've actually got the green paint. So I'm probably going to spray this fender down here in a second, spray some of the other areas on the truck with this Easy Off, and I tell you, let's see what happens. So hang on. While we're waiting, we're going to spray some on this spray paint here on this bed, see if we can get some of this black off. Not that it's really going to change how this old truck looks, but you know, it helps if you want to get rid of this black to try to bring back more of that natural patina. Also, guys, gals, one thing is I want to caution you, if you're using this stuff and you're not in a well ventilated area, make sure you wear a mask or something, because this stuff is pretty nasty. I'm outside, so it's not too bad for me right now, but again, always try to wear a mask if you're not in a well ventilated area. And again, I should be wearing gloves, I know. All right, let's give it a little bit and we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, so what you want to do is you actually want to take and you can actually wipe a little bit and try, and you see how easy that comes right off. I mean, it just wiped right off. Now, the one thing about this is if these cars have been painted using like enamel paint or anything like that, the underlying paint, this easy off doesn't hurt. So you know, if you're just trying to strip this off and you know you want to preserve what's underneath, in my experience, it does not hurt sprayed on like enamel type paints. That F100 that I end up doing a few years back, the original paint was underneath, and it didn't harm it one bit. This stuff's only been sitting for about, I mean, it's only been sprayed on here for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So you know what, let's grab the water hose and we'll start spraying and see what happens. Now what you're seeing, the stuff that still remains, is actually where it's sprayed on there thicker, or that oven cleaner didn't, you know, cling to as tight. The other thing is I'm using just my regular water hose and water pressure. Normally I use my pressure washer because it actually takes it off a lot easier. I mean, you saw on this how, I mean, it was just running off of it. And this spray paint's been on this car probably 3 years. It was just wasn't sanded underneath. It was just rattle canned on there over this yellow god awful paint. Don't worry, that yellow is going away. This is supposed to be originally a black and tan car, so that's, you know, the black is definitely going to be back on here once I get this yellow stripped off way down the road. But what we can do is dry it off a little bit, and then these areas where it's thicker, and you can see this is actually where the paint was ran, so it was thicker because it was a run in the spray paint, the rattle can, and you can see along the bottom there was runs. So where the paint is thicker, it takes longer. Now I only let this sit, like I said, 10-15 minutes tops. I could have let it sit a little longer, and it actually you know, ate through it more. The truck is actually still over there marinating, so I'm gonna dry this off a little bit and then spray some more on there to see if we can get the rest of this stuff off here. We're gonna hit these other spots, see if we can get a little more of this off. Now, this stuff, if I would have had to have sanded this car, this would have took me forever and a lot more pads and time and breathing the sand and dust and all of that. And this to me was just much easier, much faster. I mean, you saw it, and it doesn't hurt just to try it. Hey, if it works, great. If it didn't work, you're just out a few dollars. I think this stuff was $5, $4.79. I'm not going to hit this spot right here because I've actually got bare metal under there, but we'll take it a little bit. So just spray on this, and what we'll do, we're going to let this sit a little bit more and then come back. Like I said, pressure washer, it does so much better when you're trying to blast this stuff off. But I figured I would just show with an average garden hose, because a lot of people don't have pressure washers. So I just wanted to show what could be done just with the regular hose. So, all right, let's walk over here to the truck, and we're gonna let this sit for a little bit. And I'm actually spraying this on the yellow more because I want you to see that it's not hurting this enamel paint. So let's go over to the truck and see what we got going on with it. So the truck's been sitting for a little bit with it on there, so we'll just wipe a small spot, and you can actually see that difference right there. Getting this black spray paint off. And so what we'll do is we'll hit it. We can hit it with the water hose, but also something that you can do if you're worried about it being, you can agitate this some, try to scrub at it and help knock some of this paint off. And I can tell you right now, this stuff is actually drying. The oven cleaner's drying. So let's hit this with the water hose and see how clean we get this. And you can just go through here, even after it's wet, and help try to bring some of this back out. Get some of this blotchy paint. Again, you can go back and second coat this, but this shows to show you this spray paint has been on here a lot longer than it was on that Mustang. But just like I said, you can scrub this and it actually will get it off. I mean, it's hammering through it right now. All right, hit it with a water hose, see what it looks like. Passenger side here I don't have high hopes for, because I think this paint's pretty thick and it's been on here a long time, and it may have been scuffed when it was painted. So I'm gonna wipe some of this off and see what's actually underneath. But it's, well, I can see that, but it is taking this outside layer off. Oh yeah, it's working. It might take a few coats to really get down to where it needs to be, but it is removing the see if we can scrub on this a little. Yep. Yeah, this one's been on here a long time, and it requires the scrub. And what is this paint is thicker in some places, so it's not going to come off as easy with just one coat, because this is all just one coat of that oven cleaner. So yeah, if you want to get this all of it off, then it'll take more than just one coat of this. So what you can see is it took 90% of that red spray paint off. We may dry it off like we did with the Mustang, and then hit it with the last bit, because I only bought a few cans just for this video. Hit with what I have left and pick back up and see how much more we can get off. So we're back out here with the truck on this passenger side. I went and got me a glove on, because safety first, and I don't want to set a bad example. But I also grabbed a SOS pad, and what we can do with that is just help, you know, if you don't really care about scratching it, which this SOS pad with the soap, it doesn't scratch as bad. But again, this truck, it's it's got another life that it's gonna lead, and so I'm not too worried about if we put any marks. But I'll just go show you, little elbow grease with the Brillo pad, and it helps get this stuff off. Helps with the paint removal, helps get in there and get this paint cleaned off. So just gonna scrub this just a little. I'd much rather do this than sand. Sanding layer after layer after layer after paint off is not my idea of fun. And truthfully, using paint stripper is no fun. But I found that this is actually it was cheaper and easier to use. So you can see with hosing this off what it's leaving behind. And truthfully, from the looks of this fender was sanded, so it's actually quite impressed with how well it did. I mean, you can even see it went down to the bare metal. So, oven cleaner to remove paint, spray paint, it works. But you can see, yeah, we're agitating it a little bit, getting it wiped down, and then we'll just hose it back off on this side. And again, I didn't know how this one was going to turn out, because it's been on here for years, but You actually see right there, it took primer off down to the bare metal. So it can expose bare metal. So just be wary of that. But as you can see from when we started, there's a lot of that spray paint off. Still got some here, but again, you know, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this truck because this is like I said, this is my son's. I gave it to him, and I don't know what he has planned, so I don't want to spend a ton of time. He'll probably like this. He likes the patina stuff like I do. All right, back over here to the Mustang. Like I said, we're gonna wipe some of this off. Yep, see it's coming off. Yeah, this isn't a be all end all. You know, it's not perfect, and it depends on how thick and, like I said, how prepped. Let's hit it with the hose and see. I mean, it's getting a lot more off than what it got off the first time. And like I said, with the pressure washer, this would come off a lot simpler. You know, and you can put more. And a lot of times I've used that blue Scotch-Brite pad. The blue one works really good where you're not leaving deep gouges. See what it is? Yep. See, that just washes right off where I put that. Amazing what oven cleaner can do. So there you go. You saw it when I first started. It was completely covered in spray paint. Now these front fenders are actually factory paint, so it's not going to touch that. It's not going to even hurt that fender. That's why you don't see any from where the overspray that I got on it didn't take any paint off. But you know, if you want to strip spray paint off of a car pretty quick, you know, just like you saw with this, it basically washed off. Pressure washer, it would have blasted right off, and it probably would. Like I said, just want to show you a simple trick of using that yellow can easy off oven cleaner. As you can tell, you know, a little bit goes a long ways. That was 3 cans, actually 2 3/4, and I stripped almost the whole side of that Mustang, plus I did the whole side of that truck, and then that passenger fender. So a little bit does go a long way. Whenever you're doing this, you really need to be in a cooler, not in direct sun environment. And right now in Florida, it's still super hot. Again, the results are there. That's I mean, you saw it. It basically washed off. So you know, a little bit more work, and you know, it wouldn't take much to, like I said, strip this whole car where the spray paint was. As far as the truck, you know, it's still got a long ways to go. Actually, almost every bit of this paint left on here is either a repaint or their factory paint. So again, it does not hurt the factory paint. That's been my experience. Use this at your own risk. Do not take my advice and think it's the gospel. I always suggest trying a spot out. Test how long it needs to take for your application to sit. It's done really well for me. So again, just test it out and see what works for you. Hey everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully that little tip helped you out with being able to remove spray paint on one of your projects. And remember, it doesn't have to be a car project. I want to thank you for watching to the end. I want to thank you for those who have subscribed. And if you're not a subscriber, hey, please think about hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost a dime and it only takes a second. I want to build this channel up, put out some good content. Still working on the camera and editing and sound and all that wonderful stuff that I'm still learning on. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching again, and thank you from Rusted Out Revival Garage. Have a great day. God bless you.